here. Alrighty, we should be live. Hopefully everybody's having a good Monday evening. Welcome to Mumfy Live. Thanks for being here. We'll be answering your questions, and I do have a few kind of already lined up, so I want to make sure that I'm answering those FAQs or just some of your questions. So, trying out a new little live session here, so live stream, kind of doing a setup like this. I'm still kind of getting the interior studio kind of set up, so bear with me. This is kind of a spare bedroom. So yeah, thanks for joining. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the chat, and we'll kind of go from there. So welcome. Still kind of getting the hang of everything. I did a test on, I believe, Sunday. Can't remember the days anymore. But yeah, just testing this thing out to see how I'm liking it, getting the hang of everything. So let's see here. I'm gonna switch things over here so we'll get kind of this view going. You'll be able to see your chats and stuff like that. So once again, thank you for joining me on this live. We're going to be checking out, answering a lot of your questions. So looking forward to that. But first up, let's go ahead. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up here, or a little self-promotion here. So let's go ahead and transfer this over here. If you don't already know, I do have a website, mumfy.us. This is kind of the basis for it. You can kind of peruse through here. And if you're interested, I think the most popular section of the website obviously is going to be mods. So this here is a list of all the mods that I carry on my truck. And what's kind of cool is you can kind of scroll down through here, and what this does is give you a list of all of the mods that I have on the truck. So if you're interested in picking up anything that I've had on the truck, feel free to jump over here, mumfy.us/mods, and you can pick up any of the mods that I've had on the truck. These will take you directly to where you can buy them. Some are affiliate links, others are direct links to where you can purchase them. So, and then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, that's kind of where I have all the accessories and stuff like that. If you're interested in anything like that. So be sure to check it out. Just kind of any of the affiliate links help support the channel. So thank you in advance. And once again, feel free to leave your questions in the chat, and we'll be answering those here shortly. Let's go ahead and jump over to obviously the 2024 Tacoma. Check out. I'm sure everybody's had a chance to check this out already, and kind of get your thoughts on basically what the 24 Tacoma is. And now we have the official launch of the 25 4Runner, so that's going to be pretty interesting as well. Kind of curious if we'll probably build one of these out. The Terra color is kind of cool. And if you really need to stand out in the crowd, you can obviously do you can do the solar octane. Bronze oxide, that looks pretty dope. Yeah, that's pretty sick. So, what is one that you guys would like to kind of spec out? Or maybe let's just jump over to upcoming vehicles. We'll take a look at the 4Runner. Obviously, we can't build one out, but kind of curious what you guys think of the new 4Runner. You know, one of the things that I've noticed, well, I think plenty of people have noticed, is the air vent configuration. What do you guys think of the kind of slotted air vents versus what we had in the 3rd gen Tacoma, which was the circular vents? I liked how easily you could just turn them, close them, or open them. Versus some of these, versus the sliders. I kind of like I just like the styling of the circular vents over some of the slider vents, but I guess when you're changing up the interior, you kind of have to make room for the air vents. So, you know, the redesign is kind of interesting. But I don't know. I've always kind of had a hard time closing these completely and stuff like that. I never really fully felt like they'd close. But yeah, very very Tacoma-esque inside the 4Runner, isn't it? Wiggles brown. Yeah, get one of those. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm really necessarily sold on the Forerunner just yet. It'll be interesting to kind of see what the pricing is, and this is kind of what a lot of commenters are talking about, is if the pricing is going to maybe intrude onto the Land Cruiser. So that'll be kind of interesting to see kind of where they price this out versus, if, because I think it's on the same footprint, the same platform as the Land Cruiser, but yeah, it'll be interesting. We're getting the big dial knobs. I mean, I kind of like having the temperature gauge inside the knob, but I don't know. Do you guys like big knobs? Do you not like big knobs? I will say I do like having a volume knob for my infotainment system on my 3rd gen, but some of the aftermarket stuff, obviously you can get a bigger screen, but it's all touch, and I actually like having a volume knob so I can quickly turn the music down instead of tapping a button on it. Let's see. Let's check out some of your comments here. Doc 1885, love my white 23 TRD off-road double cab 6-foot bed with the premium and technology package. Nice. Yeah. So this is my 2020 is the first Tacoma that I've owned, and second truck. I don't know if you can call the Ford Explorer Sport Track a truck, but I mean, it had a bed on it. But when I jumped up to the 2020 Tacoma, I still went with the 5-foot bed. And sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have gone to the 6-foot. But I don't know. I'm kind of liking the smaller wheelbase. And then I simply don't want a turbocharged vehicle. They won't go 300K plus. Trouble-free miles. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see just how long these 4 cylinders are going. What was it? One of the guys on Tacoma Beast that basically had their 4th gen built out was talking about how it's running hot now with everything on it. So that's definitely kind of interesting to hear. They're building these 4th gens to kind of cater to the modding community and stuff like that. And if you're going to put all this weight on it, 60, 80 pound tires, 10 ply tires, bed rack, tent, all this added accessories and stuff like that, and it's going to be running hot. It'll be interesting to see just how well the longevity of this new engine is going to be. So, yeah, I can appreciate early adopters, but at the same time, it's like, work out the kinks, because not all of us are, spending that kind of money every year. Taco Java. The mud bath color on the Forerunner Pro is a good looking color. Bronze oxide on the Tacoma is a good color too. Yeah, those are definitely some interesting colors. Yeah, this mud bath, that's what they're calling it, right? The mud bath. Yeah, it definitely is kind of an interesting color, and I'm sure it looks better in person. Kind of like how the quicksand was. And then, if we jump back over to the Tacoma, come down and take a look at, that bronze. The bronze oxide definitely Definitely looks pretty cool. Now I did get to see the Trail Hunter when they first released it at Overland Expo West, the one in Flagstaff. That's kind of when they brought it out, and in person, the Trail Hunter looks really, really nice. And finding all the kind of the Easter egg, the Easter egg stuff, the Trail Hunter and the headlight and Trail Hunter on the upper control arm was kind of fun little bits and bobs to check out. So that was actually pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely. Now, I kind of thought that the wheelbase was going to be the same across the platforms, but it looks like there is a little bit of a difference, especially, yeah, through the different models, you're looking at a different wheelbase. I guess it's just for the Trail Hunter. Everything else is going to have a similar wheelbase. Okay, so that's interesting. Huh. Wheels brown, big knobs. Haha. Yeah. Gotta love the big knobs, right? All right. Let's dive into some of the questions that I've gotten over the course of my videos and stuff like that. And if you don't know, be sure to, like you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. I definitely appreciate all the support. So yeah, make sure that you're liking, subscribing. I'm going to be doing more of these interactive stuff with you guys, and I definitely appreciate all you guys hanging out. I am also curious. I've kind of been doing these lives every Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm wondering if more people would join if it's not during a weekday. Maybe I should switch this to a weekend thing. I'm curious to know. Let me know down in the chat if that's something that I should move it to, if it makes more sense. But yeah, just let me know. So, answering some of the questions that I've gotten that are frequently asked on the channel. One has to do with my long range America fuel tank. So, for those of you that are not familiar, and I'm not sure I put... Yes, I did. So long range America fuel tank, just jump over here, that I got on the truck is a 33-gallon fuel tank that you can swap your factory fuel tank out for. I really, really like it. Yes, it is a little bit on the pricey side, but always check around Black Friday, and check out. Just keep an eye on it if it's something that you're looking for. This price does drop, and where the price is going to go back up is obviously during your install. So. Now, every install shop is a little different. And one of the main questions that I get is, how much is the install? Well, that's going to depend on your installer. But it more than likely is going to be an hourly rate. The install for mine took 8 hours. It was an 8-hour install. So, if hopefully that kind of helps give you an idea of what range, because I can't price this out for each individual shop that you go to. Some will have maybe $100 range, some will have 120, 150. So a lot of it's just kind of find out what your local installer is gonna cost per hour, and expect about an 8-hour install. So that should help give you a rough estimate for what this is going to run you if you decide to upgrade your fuel tank. And if you're interested, jump back to, I've got a couple of videos on my YouTube channel covering this. One is just a quick little install video, and then I do have a review. I did a long 2-week trip, and I kind of break down the numbers as to what we ran into as far as pricing, fuel costs, filling up along that trip, and yeah, and my thoughts on it. And another question pertaining to the fuel tank is, will it reset the distance to empty? Now this has been an interesting question, and I was kind of hoping that it would. It actually does not. Ever since I've had it, I've tried to do the reset as far as the trip history, trying to clear that off. And mine always kind of goes back to the 250 distance to empty every time I fill up, even though I've got a bigger tank. So that's kind of one of the tricky things is it's not going to reset the DTE, but what it will do, and one thing that I've noticed is your analog fuel will be more accurate than the distance to empty, but the distance to empty also does not decrease like it normally would if you have the factory fuel tank. So there is a little bit more of a longer delay, even though I'm getting I'm roughly getting about 100 extra miles out of the tank. So if that's something that you're kind of interested in or had any questions on the Long Range America fuel tank, hopefully that answers your questions. Let's see here. Taco Java. I know a few big knobs. Brett Holmes, how's it going? It's going pretty well. Thanks for jumping in here. Yeah, hopefully things are going well for you guys as well. Brett Holmes, did the R4T RGB rock lights not a good white light, has a teal? Okay. I didn't run. I'm not running for Taco's RGB rock lights. It's probably because, I mean, if the white's not coming through, it's usually because there's not a dedicated white LED in there. So if you're looking for RGB lights, look for an RGBW. And that will have a dedicated white LED for that, if you're looking for that pure white. I know Diode Dynamics has one, but those can definitely get pretty pricey for sure. If you are looking for an alternative, it's not going to have it's not going to have its own wire kit. It's just going to have a couple of leads, so you have a positive and negative. check out, actually, we'll just do this. We'll go over to here we go. We'll go over to my website, Mumfy.us. We'll actually scroll up to the Heretic rock lights. Now, if you're interested in kind of a alternative set of rock lights, the Heretic versions are actually pretty good. I have seen these in person. I actually have a few sets that I will be installing on the Tacoma. They do have a diffuse, they've got a clear, they've got a couple of different lens options, they've got a green, they've got a red, and they've got a blue, and then obviously the amber color as well. And here you can kind of see just how well this thing will light up, and these are actually in the wheel wells, like up on top here. And you can see just how much light is being thrown down with these rock lights. But as I said, you're not going to get a wiring harness, so you are going to have to do a little bit of wiring yourself. But this is kind of a nice alternative to, say, the Diode Dynamics that are a fairly large pod. I think they're almost... it might almost be like a 4x4. Are they 4x4? Let's look it up. It's always interesting. Is it going to be under off-road or is it going to be under accent lighting? Here we go, rock lights. Now, obviously, you know, single color LED rock light one, $39.95, and comes with, you know, its own little harness. But once you start building up on this, yeah, you're gonna have to get your own wiring harness, splitters, things like that. But I'm curious on the size. See what the specs are here. Got the lumens. I'm not seeing an actual. I'm not seeing an actual measurement for the housing. But I mean, it could be a 3x3, whereas the Heretics are actually going to be a lot smaller. These are the same size as the Baja Designs rock lights, and you're going to get just, I mean, you're going to get a wicked amount of light thrown out. So I'm pretty excited about putting those on. Now the different lenses obviously are going to have different intensities. The red, I think, because the lens is such a deep red, it may not throw as much light down versus the amber or the clear. So just bear that in mind. I'm actually going to run these reds as a third brake light in my bed rack. So I'm pretty excited about that. Brett Holmes, is a teal light? Yep, no white. Yeah. Other question. I did the same CBI sliders as you, and they hit my pinch well over bumps. How are yours? So I did notice that as well, as far as hitting the pinch wells. What I ended up having to do is I I loosened the bolt on the angle frame, and I had to like pull that whole thing down, that front end down, and then retighten it, and I haven't had an issue at all. Yeah, I'd get like a little tap every now and again with that bump in the pinch well. So hopefully that helps. Taco Java. I was at Diode Dynamics for a tour and car show Saturday. Well, that's cool. Was extremely impressed with their operation. So much so I spent money before I left. Taco is expensive. Yeah. Yeah, but they got some good, I will say, they do have some good products for sure. I'm trying to get, see if I can adjust the chat here. Yeah. So, yeah, let's take a look at the specs here. I'm kind of interested. So we have, so on this, yeah, so here's the specs right here. This is what I was looking for on the Diode Dynamics page. So from mount to mount, you're looking at 2.35 inches. The actual housing itself is a little under 2 inches, and then overall size from edge to edge, you're looking at a little over 2.5 inches. And then depth wise, from the mounting screw to the back, a little, 0.65 inches. I mean, these things are small, but they're putting out so much. So let's see, we got 600 lumens. Let's jump over to Diode Dynamics. Now, the big difference here is obviously you're getting 4 LEDs. I think, well, 4 pods of 3, it looks like. So, measured lumens, high power 800, low power 240. Yeah. And that's for a single color, right? Yeah, single color. Color temp 57K. It's not too bad. Let's see. IP67 voltage. Right. Yeah, you can actually run these off a 9-volt battery if you're really in a pinch. Yeah. I will say the one thing I like about the Heretic is that all their housings is made from the CNC aircraft grade aluminum. Whereas I believe Diode Dynamics is kind of running a plastic housing. And if you look at Diode Dynamics, like their ditch lights or their LED pods. Let's see. We'll go with the 4-up. Most people use these for either fogs or ditch lights. So we'll go with the standard here. Yeah, you'll notice that. Let's see. We'll just jump here. Are we going to get... Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so it's a 3x3. Yeah, okay. So their rock lights are probably going to be the same size here, the 3x3. But look at the depth here. You have over almost 2.5 inches of depth. I'm going to jump back over to Heretic here. Let's see, we'll go to Toyota, Tacoma. diodes here. Grab their specs. And okay, so with the bracket, you're still looking at 2.6, so a little over 2.5 inches. 2.4, yeah, okay. So it's a 0.2 difference between the two. But if you were to remove the bracket, the mounting bracket, you're looking at 1.7 inches, so under 2 inches width. And this is an all aluminum housing, and their heat dissipation fins are really nicely built in, where, you know, the diode has a plastic housing and then all their heat sinks are in the back here. So just kind of interesting. It's interesting to kind of see the different designs. Let's see, we got 3.2 by 2.9, so roughly a 3 by 3. Yeah, 3.3. Roughly about the same. So, yeah, it's interesting, just kind of what your application looks like, and kind of what you're looking for. I do like the Heretic Ambers over. Let's see, I'm on the clear. We look at the ambers here. I do like the amber color of the Heretic over the diodes. It's just a deeper amber. Let's see here. How's your hardware on? Let's see. I rusted after a week already. On the CBI, okay. That's a little with where YouTube puts the little heart icon. It's a little hard to read that bottom chat sometimes. So yeah, Brett, I've noticed that, yeah, my hardware, especially that little J hook that's on the rear, it definitely rusts. But what I've noticed is that I'll pressure wash that, and it kind of clears some of that off. But yes, I mean, rust is going to happen eventually. But if you're really worried about it, I'd probably shoot just a little WD-40. Make sure that you're able to twist that. Let's see. That's kind of really the only rusting area that I've noticed is just on that J hook in the back. So I haven't noticed too much rust on any of the other bolts, but I'll have to jump under the truck and double check that for sure. All right, let's get back to some of the questions here. What has worked and what hasn't? Something you added and found that you haven't used it as much as I thought I would. I've had things that I know are useful but haven't really used them. When I need them, I'll be glad that I have them. Okay, something I've added to the truck that I haven't used as much. One of the things that I've definitely added to the truck has been the recovery boards. Obviously, it's not one that you're going to be utilizing a lot of. I know a lot of people will use the recovery boards as leveling blocks. Let's see if I got, yeah. But I haven't had a need to really use them as leveling blocks or anything like that. But it's definitely going to be one that, you know, if I do get in trouble, I'll be happy to have, even though I don't utilize it a ton. One of the other things, I'd probably also have to say my 40-inch Heretic roof rack light. Obviously, I don't utilize it a whole lot simply because I'm in the city most of the time, and obviously, it's more of an off-road light. Same with the ditch lights. But at the same time, I'm glad that I have them because when I have gone out, especially at night, they came in very, very useful to basically see where I'm going. I was coming back from Overland Expo West from Flagstaff, coming up through Kanab, and by the time we got into Kanab, the sun had gone down. We were trying to find just a quick overnight camp spot, and definitely utilized the 40-inch light bar and the ditch lights when I was traveling back into some of the campsites. So definitely glad that I have them. I don't necessarily use them a whole lot. But yeah, like I said, definitely happy that I have those. Bro, didn't want to spin it in half. Yeah, definitely for sure. One of the issues I had with my CBI rock slider kit was that they sent me the wrong bolts for the front mount. So it was a little annoying. You know, you slide that little bracket inside the frame, and it was the wrong size. So I was a little annoyed with that, but luckily I had a couple of bolts that I could throw in there. But other than that, I mean, I'm happy with the rock sliders for sure. I actually have dinged them once so far. So that was on a photo shoot I did with Trail Racks. Definitely got into an area that was needed, and also scuffed up my TRD skid plate. Not horribly, but enough. What kind of mods are you guys looking at doing for your vehicle, regardless if it's 4th gen, 3rd gen? I'm kind of curious to know what you guys are doing with your vehicles. Brett Holmes, love the kickoff step. Yeah, I love having that top plate. That makes all the difference. Easier to get up onto the roof rack and get into my roam boxes for sure. Yeah, I definitely like having them for sure. And yeah, for those that are curious, we're talking about the CBI Overland rock sliders. Has a nice top plate, this little kick out here. These have been great. Looks like they've kind of changed up the design a little bit. I guess these are the versions without a kick plate. Let's take a look. Choose an option. Okay, so I'm going to build out the same one that I did. So I did the standard bed length, the tube quality. I actually did do the DOM. I did a kick out, and I did the black powder coat. So if that is what you are looking for, according to CBI's website, you're looking at $1,370 for all that. Now the DOM definitely gives a little bit more structure to the rock slider as well, but it's not necessary. You can do the standard and save $100. And then no kick out if you don't do any kick out. So you do the standard $1,130. It's not bad. And then bare metal. If you want to paint them yourself, if you just want to rattle can it, you're down to $980. Let's see, double cab with none of the bells and whistles, you're looking at $1,020. But yeah, I've been happy with these bolt-on rock sliders for sure. The tricky part is always getting that front bolt on the driver's side, because you have to get past all the electronics and stick your hand way up in there. I don't know if they've made that any easier, but that one was a pain in the butt to get that nut all the way through so I could connect it through the frame. So hopefully they've come up with an easier way of doing that. NV Lunar Taco. Hey, I've actually answered a couple of your questions that you threw out here. So I appreciate the questions, and thanks for jumping on here. For those of you that are still here, be sure to smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe so we can do more of these. I'm really enjoying this. So Lunar Taco, I swapped out my power switch trigger to an aux beam. Now, I haven't heard of power switch. I've heard of aux beam, Vo switch, and then the one that I'm running is the Switch Pro. So power switch, that's an interesting one. How are you liking the aux beam? And then Lunar Taco says the trigger will be in the bed, trickle charger with a solar panel mounted on the roof rack that will run all auxiliary lighting that are on my bed of the truck. Oh, that's pretty cool. Are you gonna basically put a sounds like you're putting a second battery in the bed. Is that what you're doing, or are you just having everything kind of run off of this solar mount? Brett Holmes, won't show in pic, but same as you on build. Okay, cool. Yeah, the CBI rock sliders are definitely great for sure. Lunar Taco, 2 separate auxiliary systems ran by 2 different batteries and power switch running independently. The trigger will be powered all the time while the aux beam will be on when the truck is on. Okay. The aux beam is going to have ditch lights, light bar on the roof rack, front bumper, markers, front rock lights. What size of the aux beam did you go with? Because I know there's a couple different sizes. Even the Switch Pro has, I think their max is a 12. Because I've got the 8 that I'm running on mine. Supercharged X, what's up, G? How's it going? Just bought a Tacoma. Your videos help a ton. Thank you for the content. Any tips for starting my own channel? Just get started. Use what you have. You don't necessarily need to dump a bunch of money into expensive video equipment. Actually, my webcam right now is my Insta360 Go. So, enjoying that. You can use your phone to start recording your videos, but learn. I definitely say learn an editing software. There's plenty of free ones out there. I'll just list off a couple. DaVinci Resolve has a free option. CapCut has a desktop version that's free. You won't get all of the bells and whistles that come with it, but what's cool is that you can actually bounce between your phone, the phone app, and the desktop app if you need to. You can actually edit on your phone if you need to. I will recommend some mics. I run the DJI remote mics, or the Bluetooth mics. I don't think I have those on. No, I don't have those on this list here. But yeah, get started. Figure out your style, and don't be discouraged of a slow start. I've been doing this since I bought my Tacoma. Watch what other people are doing, and if there's a gap that's missing, or somebody doesn't cover a specific issue that you're looking for, and it's a mod that you're looking at and want to install, and there's like a step that's missing in a video, then in your video cover that, and go from there. But don't be discouraged. Don't worry about being perfect on everything. You can get analysis paralysis doing a lot of this editing stuff. So don't be discouraged, and just have fun with it. Take your time. Your audience will find you, and just create good content that's putting a lot of value out there for sure. So welcome to the modding journey of the Tacoma, and welcome. Lunar Taco, trigger, chase lights, side fogs, separate buttons, and roof rack lights. Yeah, you've got a lot of stuff going on there. Yes, separate lithium battery. Okay, so you are doing a separate lithium battery. Okay. Are you worried at all about, I guess if you're in Nevada, you're not going to worry too much about the cold weather. Up here, yeah, the lithium batteries definitely got to keep them kind of warm. So I'm kind of considering a second battery option, but I might run it in the engine bay. Let's see, supercharged X22 extended cab sport manual. Ooh, very nice. That's what? Let's see. Did you say what color it was? No, you didn't say what color. What color did you go with? That extended cab is going to be nice. Let's see. 5 or 6 foot bed. Let's see. Lunar Taco, not power switch. Aux beam power switch at the front and trigger in the back. Oh, okay. So it's not two separate. Gotcha. Okay. You went with the 8 panel. Trigger is 4. Okay. Lunar Taco, Quicksand Taco used an iPhone for a while. I think he just got a Sony. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, use what you have for right now, and then once things start building up, you can definitely update. Brett Holmes. Same. Need a camera to start. I have Android, not so good. Yeah. Recently, like I went from a Canon 90D, which is kind of a nice little entry-level crop sensor camera. And I use that on occasion, but a lot of my YouTube videos, I'm actually using my phone. So, phone in combination with the DJI mics, so that way I can get clean audio, is a great combination for that. And then once you start building up, you can start looking at bigger cameras, DSLRs. But once you get there, then you're starting to look at like lenses. You're looking at other camera stuff like gimbals. But for this kind of channel that I'm doing, I find that a lot of the smaller cameras, like I've got an Insta360 X3, can definitely help get you just different angles, and that kind of helps make things more interesting for sure. Supercharged X, thanks brother, God bless. Yeah, happy to help. Lunar Taco, DaVinci has a free version, which is more than enough. CapCut is good too. Yeah. So I haven't tried DaVinci. I started off with Premiere, jumped over to Final Cut, and that was actually before I found DaVinci, but I haven't started using DaVinci yet. But because DaVinci is doing very, very well, it's probably a program that I'm going to have to learn eventually. Lunar Taco. Renogy, I think Redo has self-heating batteries. Oh, okay. Very cool. And then Supercharged has... okay, you went with the white and the 6-foot bed. Very nice. Yeah, the tricky thing with I wouldn't say a tricky thing with a 6-foot bed, but with the 6-foot bed, if you decide to start building out like a bed rack or anything like that, they can be a little tricky to find. My bed rack is actually right here. This is, oh, well, that's new. Let's see. Bed rack. I guess I'll have to update that link. This is the bed rack that I went with. The Tango bed rack. From Saints Off-Road. It's actually a really nice bed rack. I like it. 3 pillars for stability. Their crossbars are nice and beefy, and the interesting thing with their crossbars is they are a U-channel. So across the top it's flat, and then you have clear underneath. So when you do mount, you're actually using a bolt instead of the U-brackets. If you decide to go with a rooftop tent, you don't have to do a U-bracket around those. You can actually bolt directly to your cross beams, which is really nice. And then what's also really cool is up along the top here, this is actually a light. So if I zoom in here, this is a light. I put the Heretics, but it's a cutout for the Baja Boss. Or not the Baja Boss. Those are tires. No, the S2s. And then in the back, yeah, they've got cutouts for the S2s as well. And what's interesting is that these S2s are actually the same size as these here, the LED rock lights from Heretic. So the two mount holes match up with the mount holes for the S2s. So I'm gonna be doing 3 red right across here, and I'm gonna do one of their dome lights, Heretic's dome lights. So this has a push button. So there you go. You got a push button here. You can still get these in the different lens colors if you want. I've got, oh yeah, they've got it diffused. So I actually have this version that I'm going to place right here. So that way I have a push button dome light that'll shine down on my tailgate. And that's where those 3 lights are right there. And you can put side lighting here, and then if you want, I've put a couple of my chase lights from Heretic up in here, and they fit really nice. But I think the interesting thing with this is that it is sized properly for the 5-foot bed. 6-foot bed, you'd probably want to center this in your bed as best as possible. So you will have a gap up towards the cab and maybe a gap towards the back. But yeah, it's definitely a beefy bed rack for sure. We're at home later, not now. Yeah, definitely make sure that you're not spending too much on camera gear. Use what you got and then upgrade as needed. Lunar Taco, thanks for the live. Need to head out. Hey, thanks for jumping on here. I appreciate it, man. I think, let's see. One of the questions, I'm going to jump back over to questions real quick here. Let's see. How's your experience been with your combined 529 gears and the OTT tune? How's the city driving as well as freeway driving? Now, this is definitely a question I get a lot based off of everything that I have on the truck. I re-geared to 529s to kind of help with all the weight, and then the OTT tune on top of that definitely helped get the truck up to workable specs, and it's been awesome. Where I live, I have easy access to my local tuner. Just So LLC, if you're in Utah, if you're interested, be sure to check out the Toyota Tuning Network. Bring that up here. Let's see here. Yeah, so if you go to the toyotatuningNetwork.com, you can go to locations, and here is the map that you can check where your local tuner is. Let's zoom in. So as you can kind of see, there's up in Canada, a couple of areas that obviously don't have anybody, but you're bound to find somebody doing this tune. As for me, easy access to it. So I've been able to go back several times to just kind of refine the tune. So I got the tune first, then got my 529s, went back and got it refined back up to accept the 529s, and that was a big difference. And then recently I actually went back to get updated to the 9.1 version. And there's some pretty cool things about the 9.1 version that you definitely would be interested in if you're looking at going to a tune, or if you already have the OTT, looking to get the latest version. One of the biggest complaints that a lot of people were having with the OTT tune initially was the beginning throttle response. And this was something that I thought would kind of ease up, like I'd get used to it over time, but it was a very jumpy initial throttle touch. So if you're trying to do slow speed maneuvers or just trying to barely get on the gas, excuse me, it was very touchy. So what the 9.1 has done, and I have noticed this, is that it's eased that initial throttle touch. So you push down the gas and you're not going to have that just kind of like jerk. It'll actually be very smooth until you actually get on the gas. So definitely something to look into if you already have the OTT tune. If you're experiencing that, reach out when you have some time to your local tuner and update to the 9.1. The other cool thing is that they are getting emission certified. So the 9.1 has gone through all the testing, and will now come with a emission sticker. So pretty cool. Let's see here. I probably didn't answer all those questions. Experience with the combined 529 gears in the OTT tune. Love it. Highly recommend if you are doing a heavy build, whether that be larger tires, 10-ply tires versus a 3-ply tire, depending on whatever tire weight you're going to end up getting, I highly recommend getting a tune. You may not need to go 529s. The tune can definitely help out before you do that. So just look at what it is that you're trying to build before doing too much. You may not even need the 529s. As far as city driving, my Tacoma is my daily driver. I commute to and from work with it. So my city driving, I've noticed, if I'm pretty conservative about my gas, I'm hitting roughly about 13, and since I've actually gone up to the 9.1 on the OTT tune, I've noticed it's slowly creeping a little higher, so I'm closer to, I'm hitting about 14 right now. What's really going to be interesting is taking all of my camping stuff off the truck, reducing that weight, and then seeing where I'm at. Because I have taken off my spare tire. I've noticed a weight reduction. I'm able to remove my Roam cases off to kind of help save weight up there. And I've recently, I'm working on a video where I can remove my entire bed rack and tent with this awesome product from Rapid Topper. So working on that. I haven't had a whole bunch of really good days just yet. So, and a lot of the prep for the Rapid Topper is taking longer because I have to cut some conduit tubing down to size because it's a lot of measuring, a lot of setup, and then once you finally have all your measurements and your things cut, it should go fairly quickly. So that's kind of what's taking me a little bit longer to kind of get that video out. Plus, I also want to make sure that I've got decent weather to do as well. But as far as the city driving, excellent. Freeway driving, excellent as well. Let's see, Brett Holmes, too late on the truck, LOL. Lunar Taco, ideas for upcoming videos, daily or video vlogs of trails like the one I just did with that group, and maybe a video of content creation for beginners. Yeah, definitely something that I'm looking to do more. I've kind of built the channel around a lot of truck mods, and now I need to actually start doing more videos of me utilizing a lot of the stuff. I have taken a couple of camping trips. I just need to do better about recording a lot of that and bringing it back. I get lost in the moment because I definitely want to experience me being there instead of having to worry about, what am I recording? But I definitely need to start doing a lot more of that. I do have a trip coming up with that same group, so I will be recording that. This coming weekend, there is a local overland event with Expedition Superstore. So they're doing a big parking lot shindig where they're bringing people in. They're giving away some prizes. And just a lot of fun and meeting like-minded people. So I'll be covering that as well. Content creation for beginners. Yeah. Maybe I can help with a little bit of that. So that'd be good. I'm still learning, and I've been doing this for 3 years, but I definitely need to work on my content creation for sure. Having a full-time job and trying to do this as well. It's kind of why I'm trying to do at least one video a week. I haven't hit all of that, so we may see a little bit more of this kind of interaction where I'm sharing information with you live to help kind of build that community. The other thing I really want to do with this live is bringing people in. I definitely want to bring in my installer. He's a certified Toyota mechanic. He's worked on my re-gear. He's done my long-range America fuel tank. Helped me with quite a bit of stuff. So it's been really nice, and I'd like to kind of bring him on to help answer any questions for you guys. I'd like to talk with other subscribers, other content creators, and just kind of have a nice cool little hangout where we can all just discuss what we enjoy doing. Whether that be Tacoma stuff or camping stuff or hobbies, whatever it is, I just want to bring a community together. So hopefully you guys are enjoying all this, and hopefully I'm doing a well enough job for you guys. Supercharge. Would you suggest doing cab mount relocation before any suspension and tire upgrades? That's kind of a good question. You can certainly do suspension such as shocks, upper control arms. If you're planning on switching that out, you can certainly do that before doing a cab mount relocation or a chop. So feel free to go ahead and do any sort of suspension. It's the tires that are really going to be the issue with a cab mount relocation. How big of a tire are you actually looking at going up to? Aiming for 33s at the most. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting topic for sure. If you're not going to go over 33s, you can get away with a chop, depending on which tire you decide to run. And the reason I say that is because not all 33s are built the same. Some are actually like a 32.2 or a 32.8. The only true 33s that I know of off the top of my head are my Mickey Thompson Baja Boss. They are a true 33. And I have noticed, and I'm still trying to figure out where it is, I still hit or still rub if I'm taking a hard corner. But I think what that is it's mostly because I'm driving. So if I'm driving the tire up towards the cab of the truck in the wheel well. It's not hitting my cab mount relocation. I actually did the DRT cab mount relocation. And that's because I thought I was going to go up to 35s, which I might, but I'm actually enjoying my 33s on the Baja Boss. So yeah, take a look at which tire you're actually going to go with. Get the true measurement, and like I said, depending on I think a lot of it's going to depend on your upper control arm. There's one that was it SPC? I believe it's SPC that does an adjustable upper control arm. Yeah, it's the SPC. SPC has an adjustable upper control arm that you can get that can help push the front of the tire either forward or back depending on your needs. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. Well, I have been on here for over an hour. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and asking questions. Make sure that you've smashed the like button. Looking to do this more and more with you guys. I really appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. I did have a question over on Instagram. Had somebody ask me, when's the winch install? So for those of you that don't know, I do have a aftermarket front bumper. It's from SSO. It is the Slimline front bumper. And I still haven't picked out a winch yet. So that's going to be a little bit... Not sure when that's coming, but... Brett Holmes, air up? What do you mean by that? What do I have to air up my tires? If that's what it is, I use a Easy Flate. In fact, let's see. Oh, I don't have it on my... One of the things I don't have on my kit list is the Easy Flate air compressor, along with their... I think they call it their Hyperflex tube, which is their four tire inflation kit. But the interesting thing with that is it's very similar to the Morphlate, Thor's Lightning. I went with Easy Flate. I like the color scheme. And I also like just having the 4-up, and it is super fast with the auto air. But yeah, that's kind of what I use for airing up and even airing down. I can air down all 4 tires at the same time too. So enjoy it. Let's see. Supercharged X. Thoughts on the ARB MK2 bumper? That's my goal after I hit a deer on my... Ooh, with your Forerunner. And took me out of the off-road game for a while. Ooh. Ooh, that's rough. The ARB MK2 bumper. Let's take a look at that. ARB MK2. Front bumper. Okay. This is probably the closest we're going to get to it. Is this the one that you're looking at? Obviously, it's on a Ford. Let's see if I can find one that's on a Tacoma. There we go. Wow, that's a beefy boy, isn't it? Does that wrap around the side? Wow. I haven't seen that before. That's pretty intense. So does this my question is does this tie into the frame? Or where does this side post go? I mean, other than that, yeah, you got a nice high clearance bumper. I like that. Clean openings. Obviously, it's got some cutouts for lights. You can definitely do the top mount ARB stuff right there. Looks like you have easy access to a winch if you ever need that, so that's kind of nice. The only issue is it looks like this front bumper may interfere with your radar. So you might have an issue with that. Now, if the radar clears this section right here, you'd probably be okay. But if you decide to put a winch in there, that's going to cover that section up, and you won't be able to use your front radar, and it might give you some errors in the truck if you decide to do that. So that's something to look out for. Oh, did I switched over. Let's bring this up. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I was looking at this. Yeah, you might have an issue with the front radar sensor. Pre or post 2020. I think 2020 was, or no, it was 2019, which I think they brought in the radar sensor standard. So that's the only issue I'd probably have with this front bumper. Brett Holmes. Time on that for a full air up. Okay, so my easy flate, I did do a video on this, in which I took my tires down to 18 psi and went from 18 to 33. That's where I keep my tires is around 33, because obviously as you're driving, your tire pressure is going to go up. So 33 is kind of a nice PSI level that I've found for 285 70 17s. 18 PSI to 33 PSI, you're looking at, for all four tires, you're looking at about 3 minutes. Supercharged X. Deer and elk are ubiquitous where I live. No radar on my Tacoma. So this is the MK1, and the MK2 bumper has lights built in. Oh, okay. I mean, I did type in ARB MK2, and this is kind of what it brought up. So let's see if I can find the MK2. ARB Summit MK2 bull bars. Oh, this is on the Hilux. Okay, so this has got to be the MK2. Okay. And we're not getting a full shot. But yes, once again, yeah, radar issue would be an issue. And yeah, so the other question I had is, are these sidebars attached to the frame? That is wicked. And I take it these are the integrated lights. Yeah, great ground clearance, approach angle and all that. For sure. Yeah, not a bad looking beefy front bumper. Alrighty. Well, hey, I've been streaming here for an hour and a half. I'm gonna be wrapping it up right here. Thanks so much. Supercharged, the sides are extras, but not going for the wrap. Okay, very cool. I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions or interested in any of the mods, once again, I'm just going to plug my website here, mumfy.us. You can do /mods, and you can go through and see all the stuff that I currently have on my Tacoma. Click the links. It'll take you right where you can purchase them. And once again, some are affiliate links They do help out the channel, so I definitely appreciate any of the purchases you guys make through here. Leave your questions. I'm happy to answer your questions on this. I'm looking forward to bringing some guests on here as well to kind of share their knowledge as well. You don't necessarily always have to build out the same way that I do, and that's what I love about this just everybody's personality within this industry. It's just really interesting to see what everybody does with their trucks. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.